I believe I was born with normal hearing, and as a kid and all that sort of stuff, and went all through it. In 18, I was conscripted into the army. That was in 1954. There was no such thing as hearing protection, and we fired 303 rifles, we threw grenades, we used Tommy guns. From that we went to light artillery, 40mm bow for guns, and from that I was transferred to a heavy artillery unit, firing 90-pound guns. All that noise, plus I was a carpenter, and the total over the period just sent me virtually gradually deaf. An immense difference. I got to the stage where I was virtually totally deaf, and I was staying at home rather than going out. Television was by a teletext television, which you had to pay extra for. If it didn't have captions, I couldn't watch it. It was almost impossible, other than cricket or football, of course, which was great. And then going out socially was just virtually a no-toe. I had to have a TTY phone, but that was a problem. I could ring people and they'd put up with me, but they would rarely ring back because it had problems. So it's once it took a few months, but after that, I was back into mainstream life. The most horrible sound I've ever heard, like I said to Karen, the audiologist, that it sounded a bit like a strangled cricket, and she said she'd never heard anything like that. It's just what came to my mind. At that instant, I wondered what the hell I'd done, because the brain wasn't used to sound, and it was terrible. Well, it changed. I went outside to the traffic and it was hell. But of course, after it takes a few days, then the brain starts to know what all this sound is. And within a week, I was wrapped in it, within a week. Yes, I can do those things, but a lot of those things I don't particularly like anyway. They're not on my want-to-do list. The only problem I have really is the use of phones. I have great difficulty on a phone. Oh, virtually nothing. Common sense to take care. Don't drop it. Be careful when you take it off your head with the thing, and put it in your dry store every night. But I've never, ever in 10 years and 4 different cochlears had to go back to my audiologist with a broken down cochlea. Never. None at all. No difficulty. You just get out of your dry store and put it on, switch it on, or put the battery in it, and away it goes. Nil. It's you just undo. Nowadays they're not batteries anyway. It's a unit. It's a rechargeable unit. You just connect the unit up, which automatically switches the cochlear on. My ability to hear people on the telephone. I'm not sure, because some people can, some can't. It's depending on the pitch of the person's caller's voice. Damn handy when it's a telemarketer on the phone. I just tell him I can't hear, bugger off and hang up. Well, it's the other people talking to me. Not all people. It depends on the pitch of their voice. Some people I can hear normally. My wife is a little thing, but I can hear her on the phone, landline or mobile, no problems. I've got a mate that several mates of course. One I can hear perfectly, another one is impossible. I can't hear him. It's his pitch, just the way he talks. Yes. Virtually, in short answer to that is yes. Karen does do a quick mapping session using your old one as the base, the new one, which usually doesn't need much alteration, just an odd one, and that's it. Yes, you put it on, quarter of an hour later, you walk out the door. I've had that occasionally. You can't have your head close to anything magnetic. or steel I should say, because of the magnet in it, and I wear a high strength one. I have to have a 6, which has got to be approved by the thing. And yes, it will jump if you're not careful, but it's fairly rare and there's no detail. You suddenly go deaf and say, "Where's going in?" Grab your Cochlear and put it back on. Yes, after going from the others, the Nucleus 6 is the closest thing to normal hearing. I've got to say that it's not as good as normal hearing, which I used to have 30, 40 years ago, but it's the closest thing to it. It just tones down. You don't have to keep changing programs. You don't have to keep changing volume controls. It just works, and it's a great advancement.